Okay, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? What's going on? It's your boy Mills from Millcity Boxing, home of that high level pro boxing media, the Fighters and Trainers channel, and most importantly, the People's channel. And we have a special one here today, guys. Um, we have a local rapper, right, that has really blew up, and I don't know how people at 42 can stay so consistent and be able to still create music. There's only a very you gotta be good. You gotta be good first of all to be able to drop stuff at 42, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And still be relevant.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
We have here terminology. Daniel Correio. Did I say that shit all wrong?
Carrillo.
Carrillo.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we also got here my good friend right here, Rashidi Speedy Ellis.
What's up, guys, what's up?
And he has a big fight coming up June 21st in the Lowell Auditorium. So man, this is good right here. So I got to see Term in the Lowell Folk Festival one time, like 4 or 5 years ago, and I said, "Oh shoot, that's Term." And I'm like, I told them about my boxing journey, right? And I'm like, I want you on my show. I'm like, it would be an honor. And he's like, yeah, for sure. He said, I got views, you got views, let's do it. And I was like, yo, this guy is just supports local. Like, that's big, you know what I mean? Because I get, like, shout out to Stein, because last time he was over here, he shouted me out. And there's not a lot of people out here shouting people out. So I'm gonna give a big shout outs to you, man. Terminology.
Yeah, thank you. That was a great
Thank you for
intro.
coming in, man.
Yeah, it was a great intro.
And man, my man Rashidi Ellis, this guy right here, guys, he's been in PBC, signed to PBC. Yeah. Before that, he was signed to Golden Boy, right? And in boxing, bro, you take your first L and then they forget about you. They don't know how to promote you. They don't want to promote you and stuff like that. This guy right here fought with one arm, didn't make no excuses, and then gets the shit end of the stick and actually wins the fight. Got the fans really sold that he won the fight. And now he's here in Lowell, Massachusetts, performing June 21st. We're lucky to have him, man. Yeah. We're really lucky.
Especially in Lowell, too, near the city where I was born and raised, Lynn, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So it's not so far away from where I'm from. So it's a blessing.
Absolutely.
So let's start with how did the whole rapping journey come? I mean, I met you as Jay Smooth in the club world, but tell me, how did this all happen for you? Why did you start rapping?
Yeah, I started loving hip hop as a kid, you know what I mean? Just getting watching it. It was becoming popular commercially, seeing Run DMC on TV and all that stuff as a kid, like 5, 6 years old. And then as I got older, there's a lot of people rapping around me, rapping on my blog, rapping, in the household. My mom's boyfriend rap. It was some cats, from the projects that rap outside and stuff like that. So I just took a liking to it as a kid. And then I started freestyling, memorizing my own rhymes. That turned into me doing demo tapes. That turned into me getting a record deal in high school, going on tour in high school, putting out my first vinyl, cassette, tape, CD, all of that, way before streaming, for iTunes, Spotify, all of that. And yes, this music journey has just been a lifelong thing for me. I've been rapping my whole life.
Getting that plaque of #1 on iTunes, how does that come about, and how does that feel, coming from the 978?
Yeah, I mean, it felt really good. I think I put out 50 albums up to that point, and it was definitely God. All those great accolades I had, I done been on Billboard, charted multiple times in different areas, but all the way, until album number 50, I don't get that #1. So it's no coincidence, you know what I mean? It was like, yo, here you go. Here's that present, for you, for that perseverance and just sticking with it that long. It's like, all right, this your 50th? Here you go. I'm gonna give you some little hardware to put on your wall and celebrate, And I think that's what it was all about. It was just persevering and sticking in it for that long, and I got to hold up the trophy at the end.
Billboard Poppy.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
That's him. Yeah, nah, it's crazy. So, just being on Billboard, it's like, those are my albums, right? Those ain't features. Those ain't like somebody else's album I
Facts.
ghost wrote. Those are my albums. And I done been in Billboard mad times, for being a producer. I produced for Erykah Badu, for The Lox, for Wu-Tang Clan, Styles P, all the, Sheik Luch, all these guys. So I done been in Billboard for being a producer, which is great. I done been in Billboard for, having features on other people's albums. My man Statik, Selektah, Evidence, Wu-Tang, just too many features, MOP. I done been in Billboard a lot, but when it's your album, it just hits different. So those albums were a little older and I never really knew the chart position because I was signed to a label. So going back and doing the grade, you find out like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow, I actually charted. My album's actually charted. And so, I was able to call the people that make the plaque place and get the plaques. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I got those just a couple years ago. So yeah, man, it was a blessing, man. I'm just really excited about it, and it's dope to have those, up at the crib. They give me motivation every day. I wake up, look at the wall, and I see them like, yeah, let's go. Time to get some more.
Tell me about traveling.
Yeah.
What has rap, brought to you? How's it changed your life?
Man, I mean, I've been to 50 countries at this point. I've been all around the world. I've been to almost every state. And it's just crazy because it's like I grew up, poor kid, Lawrence, Mass. And, if you don't know, Lawrence is the poorest city in Massachusetts. And, just growing up like that, just growing up in poverty, didn't have much growing up, pretty much without pops in the crib, just me and mom's welfare, all of that, moving crib to crib to crib. You kind of don't see outside of your city. You know what I mean? You don't see outside of it. So it's like when I finally got the opportunity to start traveling state to state, going on world tours, going on my first, Europe tour, going to Japan, going to China, going to, Hong Kong and Korea, Bangkok, like all these different crazy places that you think in your mind that like you'll never go there. And then when you go there, you're like, oh, wow, this is what the world is about. It's not just about how people look at stuff in Lawrence, Lowell, Boston, whatever the case. You get out of your comfort zone, man. You go see the world, and I definitely came back with a whole different like perspective on life and culture and stuff like that.
You have a song called Thailand,
Yeah.
with Paul Wall.
Yes, sir.
How did that relationship go about? And then I'm listening to the lyrics. He's saying, we split in 200K. I mean,
Yeah.
talk to me about that song and then the relationship with Paul Wall. How did that come about?
Yeah, man. Paul Wall is man. He's such a motivation to me because he's only like a year or two older than me, but he came in the game at a different time, and he came in as a big artist and was able to make some big hits. So he had a different career path as where I came in the game. I was running in the underground, doing it that way. So clicking up with him, doing 2 albums with him. We're going on our 3rd album now. We done a couple shows. We done some release parties, some spot dates, touring and stuff. I just really learned a lot from him running around doing press. I learned like how people do it at that level. You know what I mean? So big shout out to Paul Wall, man. He taught me a lot. He taught me how to be an OG, but still be relevant when you're a legacy act. Because a lot of times, like, you might not be relevant with like the young kids, but you still could be relevant for your age group. You know what I mean? There's still people in their 30s and 40s that want to go to concerts all the time. And Paul Wall's one of those people that's still selling out shows, and it's crazy. So definitely being around him, he taught me a lot. And I basically got that relationship through Statik Selektah as well, because Statik had brought him out a couple times for some shows, and they met, at Summer Jam and things like that. Turned into studio sessions. Then that turned into Paul and I doing stuff. So that that's how that came about.
Yeah, back in the days, I remember you've been with Static for a long time.
Yeah.
He's doing big things as well. And, yeah, tell me, how did that relationship, how did that start?
Yeah, Stat was my man. Like he's my man. Like he's more like a brother to me. You know what I mean? He was actually just calling me right now when I sat down to do the interview. But yeah, I met Static when we were teenagers. We had to be like around 16 years old. He was DJing already. I was rapping already, and he had this party that he used to throw, and you know, I ended up pulling up to that. He had a show called Northern Exposure. I pulled up to that. We would bump into each other in house parties and just stuff like that, you know what I mean? So we became, you know, friends, and he came to my crib one time and was like, yo, hold up, you got turntables? I'm like, yeah. He's like, but you're not a DJ. Why you got turntables? I'm like, I just love hip hop. So I was collecting records. I had a mixer, turntables, you know, making my own mixtapes. I had a mic in the crib, making my own demos. And he like, wow, okay, so you just like me. You know what I mean? And we were teenagers. And, you know, after that, we just kind of formed like a pack, like, you know, business relationship, friendship. He moved to New York in '04 and told me like, yo, come on, man. Come to my crib, sleep on the couch, grind with me. Come, let me introduce you to, you know, what it's like in the music industry in New York City. And, you know, I followed his lead. I moved to New York in '07, and the rest is history, bro. We followed our dreams. Just two kids from the 978 that, you know, that basically did everything we set out to do already. So from here moving forward, man, it's all just a bonus, you know what I mean?
Right. Here we have 100 ways to be a better dad.
Yeah.
What inspired you to create this?
Yeah, so I own the movement. I started the movement Good Dad Gang. That's my movement. And I started that in 2014. It started as a hashtag, and it was just really for dads, you know, something for dads, good dads, you know, celebrating like, yo, I'm gonna spend, you know, as much time with my kids as I can. I'm gonna be there for my kids. I'm gonna be in my kids' life, because a lot of us grew up with a bad relationship with our dad or no relationship with our dad. You know, and I really wanted to motivate people to just, you know, spend as much time with you can with the kids, you know what I mean? Because once they're older, it's quiet, it's over. You know, you got this limited amount of time that you have with these kids, and I just really wanted to motivate dudes, especially with all the negative stereotypes that come with Black and Latino dads in general, but Black and Latino dads get it a little extra, and you know, it was like there's a crazy like stigma on that, you know what I mean? And I think that now, especially in 2025, I'm seeing the world change, and I'm seeing dads be way more active. I see polls all the time. I see different, you know, statistics come up all the time about how, you know, dads are like, you know, 50% more active than they were in the 80s or the 90s and these type of things, man. So we're heading in the right direction, but, you know, I just want to be there for brothers that need help, because a lot of us got to go to court to see our kids. A lot of us have you know, just different situations, man, where it's kind of hard to be in your kid's life, but, you know, I just don't want dudes to give up, because the one, that's your responsibility, but two, it's the most beautiful thing in the world, man, you know what I mean? So you got to be there and handle your responsibilities as a man.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you're like the second rapper I've ever interviewed. The first
Okay.
one was Papoose.
Okay, word, that's my guy.
Yeah, I seen him in the press conference, Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis press conference.
Okay.
And, you know, he loves boxing. He's a boxing fan. Are you?
Yeah, definitely. It's funny, I was watching, what was that fight they had the other day in Times Square?
You know, they had the Ryan Garcia
Yep.
Versus Rolly Romero fight.
Yeah, yep.
And that nice little stack card there.
Yeah, the card was good. The fights were very underwhelming.
Right.
They were all pretty trash. The only one that was good was Rolly to me. I didn't really care for the rest of them. But I mean, there was some moments, you know what I mean? But they were very underwhelming, those fights. But it was funny because I saw Pap in the crowd, because I know his wife is Clarissa Shields, right? His girlfriend is Clarissa Shields. So your girl is like the GOAT girl boxer. Like, that's crazy. But yeah, he always been a fan. I see him always like posting stuff like that.
So what do you think about like his position? He's a rapper. I mean, I think he used to fight in the Golden Gloves, right? But your woman is basically the best woman ever. Like,
Yeah.
Do you feel like you can, you know, get loud with your woman?
Listen, man. I mean, that's something that, you know, that I think that they must have had a talk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, listen, man. We never gonna put hands on each other, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have that talk. You gotta have that talk with your lady anyways. But if your lady's the champion of the world, you know what I mean? I think it's just smart for y'all to be like, hey man, let's walk away if we have a disagreement.
100%.
That's what I would do. That's how I do with my lady now. But you know what I'm saying? She's not a boxer, so I just think that would be the intelligent move.
And going back to what I said earlier about, you know, linking up with you in the folk festival and you saying you was down to do this, and then, you know, now we here, and then I hit him up again and I say, listen, you want to walk Rashidi out? You know, he has his main event. He says, yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah,
It's
appreciate
like,
that too.
yeah,
Appreciate
let's
that.
go.
I told him, you know.
Yeah, let's go.
appreciate it.
like this is legendary shit, and it's
Yeah.
real. I mean, from you being a good dad, you just an overall good person.
Yeah, man, I like to fancy myself as one. I've been a mentor to many. I've helped many. That's kind of like something that, you know, God put me on this planet to help people. I realize that even when I get let down, when people do wrong behind my back, or you know, sometimes I feel like I do a lot of work for people, and then you know, it was maybe for nothing, or I might have wasted energy and time on somebody, and it wasn't, you know, I probably shouldn't have. But then I try to look at it like, yo, listen, man, God told you to go help people. That's all you was trying to do. You can't do nothing about other people, you know. If you have a pure heart and you're just trying to help, that's all that matters, you know what I mean? You can't really, they got to wake up and look themselves in the mirror, you know what I mean? For what they do, whether it's good or bad. That's it.
So that means that you can't lose. You feel me? No, it just means that you can't lose.
You know,
Because I invited the big dog. You feel me? I brought the OG with me. You know what I
do
mean?
what I do.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you're crazy,
I'm gonna
man.
do what I do.
You gotta
Yeah,
go
I got
crazy.
faith in you,
Don't worry
bro.
about that.
You got this.
What do you think about Rashidi Ellis? And then also, is there a song in mind that you feel like you got, right? I don't want you to say it because,
Yeah.
you know, I want to do a ticket giveaway. And I think a cool ticket giveaway would be like, listen, at the end of this post, if you know what song Termanology is thinking of, they get a free ticket to that. They get 2 free tickets to the spot. I got
Not
the
one,
tickets
but
on.
2.
I got
Okay.
I got the tickets on.
That's
You know
cool.
what I mean? But you could also just go to the box office and just say Millcity Boxing sent you, and you'll get 2 tickets already. You know what I
That's
mean?
cool.
But you got to make sure you know what song he's thinking of.
What song I'm thinking of? Pertaining to what exactly?
The walkout.
Oh, okay. So, like, what song I think he should come out to?
Yeah, I mean,
like to
do you,
hype
do you,
him up?
do you have
Yeah,
one?
your
Do you
song.
have one in mind?
Oh,
Just don't say it. Don't say it.
He was about to say
Don't
it.
say it. Don't say it.
yeah. Okay. Nah, I'm just trying to understand the rules, man.
Do you got one in mind, or do you make a new one? Do you just, I don't know. It's next week. It's next week.
Okay. I see what you're saying. So I'm not just walking out with him. You actually want me to rap too?
I mean, I thought no.
I'm down. I mean, you know, because my thing is this, right? I'm just there for support. I don't want to get in his way.
Okay.
If he
Oh, no,
say,
yeah,
if he
I
tell
kinda
me,
want-
listen,
Okay.
I come out to this song
Okay.
every time, and that's how
Either
I knock
way.
people out.
Yeah.
Then come out to that, bro. I just post you on my gram, and I'll come out for
Right.
support. I don't want you to switch up your song for me. You know,
Yeah.
I want you to come out where you feel best.
I like that answer.
Yeah, real
I
talk.
like that too, but
yeah.
I want you to come up with your music. Though.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's
sure.
talk about that off air and see if we can come up with
Yeah,
something.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All right. So, Rashidi, Lynn, Massachusetts.
City of Sin.
So, obviously, boxing has given you that opportunity to travel as well.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, a lot of places. Though. Yeah.
tell people, you know, what are those places, and you know, how was that experience?
Oh, yeah,
What
yeah.
has boxing done for you?
But yeah, boxing had me travel a lot of places. You know, sure. I was living in Puerto Rico for a year and a half. You know, I was living over there. That's where I built my career in the beginning of the professional. But in amateurs, I was traveling everywhere too. I was traveling DR and all that, and just keep on fighting, especially around USA. So, you know, it was good. It, got me on the airplane for the first time with boxing, so it was cool.
I like it. I like
Mm-hmm.
it. Tell me. I mean, June 21st. I mean, you excited? I mean, talk to me.
Oh, yeah,
what's
of
up
course.
with your opponent? Is he any good?
Yeah, he's very tough opponent. He almost got like 40 fights. He never got stopped. You know, and you know he's a come forward, strong fighter. So he's very game. He's gonna come to fight, and that's what I want. I don't want no way to just sit there and get beat up. You know what I mean? So I want somebody to come and fight, so it make the show excited.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Tell me. I mean, looking at the opponent, he's never been stopped. Does that mean that you got to be able to like go the extra mile for Lowell? Do you know what I mean? For everyone,
Yeah,
all the
man.
fans, like-
Especially fighting at the lower auditorium. You know when the Golden Gloves was, and I fought them when I was a kid and stuff. So I got to get the stoppage. You know.
Okay.
You know, that's like I won't feel complete if I didn't stop him. You know, no pressure though. But you know, I'm gonna do what I do. But you know, the knockout comes, it comes. But I feel like I knock his ass out.
Yeah. What you think about the promo?
Wait, what are you talking about? Oh,
Promo for his fight so far?
okay. I haven't seen it yet.
No, you haven't seen.
No,
the
I haven't
promo
seen it yet. Nah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I gotta see it.
Okay.
I gotta see it. Send it to me though. I'm definitely, I'm invested, man. You know what I mean? I want to go back, watch the old fights. I wanna, you know, be in
What's
the
the
building.
last fight you been to?
Been to, Man, I'm trying to think what the last fight I've been to was. Probably one of my man Ken Larson's fights. I went and seen him at the
Yes, my
Lowell.
man's right there, my
Yeah,
man
he's
Ken.
a good dude, man.
Mhm.
I had went to a Lowell auditorium fight. It had to be about 5 years ago.
You ever been to a Vegas fight?
Nah, I haven't. I need to. Nah, I'm definitely. My dad was a huge boxing fan. We watched boxing all the time in the crib. You know, Friday night fights and all that type of stuff. All the big old school pay-per-views. You know, Mike Tyson and Holyfield and all that good stuff. Like I grew up with. My father has 6 brothers, so it's 7 uncles, 7 Puerto Rican uncles. You can imagine the amount of boxing we watched in our house in the 80s and 90s, and that was a golden era for me. Definitely watching. You know, that was like crazy. It was crazy how many good fighters there was and how often they fought and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
everybody for everybody. It wasn't
Dog, it
no
was
ducking
crazy.
and hiding like it is now.
one time I had watched, I was watching like Mike Tyson's best knockouts, and I think he had like 11 fights, like just in 86 or 85. I'm like, how you fight every month, bro? Like, this is crazy. Whereas, you know, now a professional fighter might have like 2 fights a year or something, you know? So it's just crazy how the sport changed. But I'm definitely a fan, and I'm looking to go to, you know, some big fights moving forward.
Have you ever walked a fighter down?
Nah, I haven't. And it's funny because I made a song for my man Ken Larson. And he's like, yo, listen, rap on this beat, shout this out, say that. He said, I'm gonna come out to it. I said, cool, no doubt. I did it for him. He paid me all of that stuff. And then the day of, he goes, yo, don't feel offended, bro. I just feel like I gotta come out to this song so I can get hyped up. I said, don't worry, bro. I did that for you. You can have it anytime you want to use it, use it. Like, come out to whatever's gonna help you win. And he ended up knocking the dude out. So I was happy for him, you know. He did the right thing.
That's true, right? So, do you listen to any of his music? Like, do you have an idea of what song you would like? Did you think about it?
Nah, I didn't listen to his music. I saw some of his interviews and stuff. I didn't
Yeah.
see none of his music yet, though.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to get hip. We got about 2 weeks to get it together.
Yeah. So
two
we're
of us,
gonna
so,
talk
yeah.
about it. You know, we can talk
Definitely.
about it now because you know,
Yeah,
they got to
sure.
pick a choice. But yeah, sure.
But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it, man. I love it. I love combat sports overall, just boxing. I love UFC, all that stuff. You know what I mean? I love it.
Yeah. So you got Mike Tyson on, right?
Yeah.
And it's cool because you know he fought in the low auditorium at once
That's
upon a
crazy.
time. You know what I mean?
Wow.
He fought Hector Mercedes. Rest in peace.
Wow.
To Hector Mercedes. Yeah.
That's
his
crazy.
pro
Did
debut-
Muhammad Ali fight there
His
too?
pro debut? No.
No.
Muhammad Ali
That's
was
really
there.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
He knocked out Hector Mercedes.
I got to go
In
back
his
and
pro
watch that.
debut, he was around 18 years old.
Word?
Young guy.
Mike's pro debut?
Mike.
Get out of
Lowell,
here.
Massachusetts.
Cause I'm pretty
you
sure
believe that?
I'm pretty
Yeah, I
sure
didn't
I
know
don't
that.
watch that fight because I've been through crazy wormholes of Mike Tyson on YouTube. Like there's crazy long YouTube clips that'll show you like every one of his fights, like from when he was like 15 on, like crazy wormhole you can go on if you really search Mike. But I gotta go back and watch that one. That's crazy.
Yeah, he came actually the other day with the mayor, and he was in the middle of one of the Golden Glove fights.
That's
He
fire.
shows a lot of love. He got
That's
a lot
cool,
of
man.
great weed string. So
Yeah,
he
he's
goes
a goat.
around, gets his promo runs and whatnot. You know.
Yeah, he's a goat.
Yeah, absolutely. We also had Hagler. Hagler fought in that.
That's
event
crazy.
As well, man.
Wow, that's
Just a
ill.
little education for the people that don't know in Lowell, Massachusetts, or anybody in Massachusetts. It's a legendary, place. Every seat in the house is great.
Yeah.
Every
I,
seat in the
I
house,
was
from
I
the
was pretty
balcony to
close up.
everything.
So from what I remember, I was probably like one seat back. You know what I mean? So one seat back from like front row. So I had some great seats. But yeah, it was the atmosphere was dope, man. Crowd was dope.
Now, obviously, there's been pro fights in between that besides those legends, right? But just knowing that, like, there's a history there, right, of pro fighters that go out there and have to perform. Guys like, Mike Tyson, guys like Hagler, guys like Mickey Ward. I mean, does that add any pressure knowing that you have a fight that's going to be on your box rack that says Lowell, Massachusetts, Rashidi Ellis was the main event, and you go the freaking distance?
Come on, why you gotta say that? Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Nah, it's no pressure. It's excitement for me.
Okay.
I love that. I love that shit. I don't think no pressure of it, but it's exciting for me. It's like where I get to fight where all them great fighters fight, so I get to plant my seat in there.
I love
Even
it.
though I fought there when I was a kid, but as a professional, main event is different.
I love it. Rashidi's a really good guy.
Yeah, no, I can tell.
Rashidi is the first guy that ever ducked me in an interview.
Yeah?
But I did.
He's the first. He's
we
the
talking
first
about?
guy.
Purposely, or he just wasn't ready
The
at the
first
moment?
guy.
I really don't.
No, I already interviewed James Toney already
Oh, wow.
at the time. I interviewed James Toney, and a lot of Kareem Mayfield. You know, I had a nice little resume before I even.
Dead.
Yeah.
And he ducked me.
What was it, man?
For a while,
What's your
for a
side of the
while.
story, bro? What happened?
No, I really don't do a lot of interviews like that. You know?
Yeah.
So
Honestly.
eventually, I was
See,
like,
did
fuck
you get
it.
nervous?
Nah, I wasn't nervous. I was
I wasn't even big to be nervous. I was like, you already been on big platforms already.
Yeah,
That's funny.
But it was cool that we clicked though.
No,
Then what
man.
was the first interview?
I went to your gym. You know what I mean?
Dang, so you put
It
it
was
on.
barely.
Yeah,
I went all the way to Somerville.
No
you know
choice.
what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you right.
Almost scratched my car parking. The shit
Yeah,
was tight
yo,
as
yeah,
hell. It was
tight
nasty
parking.
work. It
Uh-huh.
was very nasty work.
I appreciate you doing that.
You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, this guy's the #1 welterweight in New England. I got to go see him.
Yeah. You're
Beat
right.
Choman.
Yeah.
Yo, wow.
Mhm.
Took me up a surprise. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nasty work.
Yeah.
But anyway, we here now.
Yeah, we here now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And wow, man, this is awesome, man. I'm glad that we're all here to be able to show that. But nevertheless, guys, this interview is also sponsored by EDJ Studios. Really appreciate him coming out here and giving us the time and sponsoring this interview, man. It was definitely legendary. We got here Termanology.
Yeah.
Got my man Rashidi Ellis. This is your boy Mills from Millcity Boxing, home of that high-level pro boxing media. Make sure you guys follow everybody on all platforms as well. Shout out all your platforms where people can find you, all that.
Yeah, before I get into that, I just want to give a shout out to my man Brad. He's over at Revere Boxing. He has the young kids. He's teaching them how to box. And
I know, Brad. I used to go to the gym.
he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He supports me and Good Dad Gang heavy. And when we did our backpack giveaway last year, he pulled up with all his young boxers, and they came and they gave out. You know, they gave stuff out. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to shout out Brad. He's a good dude, and all the up and coming boxers, man. I wish y'all nothing but the best. But yeah, you can follow me on all platforms at Termanology ST. You can follow the brand at Good Dad Gang. And if you want to make a donation, it's gooddadgangnonprofit.com. You can get the book on our website, gooddadgang.com, or you can get it on Amazon.
Shout out to CES Promotions as well for holding it down
Yeah.
June 21st at the Lower Auditorium as well.
Yeah.